So you guys lived in a house for a year, and then did Grandma remarry then after 1 year?
Oh, we lived in this house for about a year, and then my uncle's sweet thing that he was gave my mother a choice.
Which uncle?
Frank.
Mm-hmm.
He was the big shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave my mother a choice. He said to go buy this house. So he said, and then later on, we'll find an orphanage to put the girls in. That's 5 girls.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you can live by yourself in this house. Well, Mom went ahead and bought the house with the insurance money that she got from the railroad, which was during the Depression, which wasn't very much. And she bought this house on 50th and Hawthorne there. And we lived in there for a year. Then Frank came back and said you had a choice. Either sell the house and put us kids in an orphanage up for adoption. My mother says, no. Or he knew this guy that never been married before that would like a wife, you know. So she says, well, this is what I'll do. She says, I'm not giving up my girls.
Why did he want her to give up your girls? Because she couldn't afford to keep you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom says, no, I'm not giving up my girls. If I have to live in a shed, I'll live with the shed with the pigs and my girls before I give them up.
Mm-hmm.
So then, anyway, the guy that my mother married, which was Grandpa Rubino.
Rubino Antonelli? Say that for the tape. His name.
His name was Rubino Antonelli. And his brother lived down the street from us. And that's how they met.
What was his brother's name?
Frank.
Antonelli?
Antonelli.
Mm-hmm.
So they got married. And for a guy that never been married before, never had kids, he never laid a hand on us, but he did like his drinks. And it depended what kind of a mood he was in. One day he'd be mean and honoring, call us girls' names. The next day he'd be funnier than heck. A comedian.
How old were you when Grandma married Rubino?
I was about 15.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And so Rubino liked his drink.
Oh, yeah, he did. He made his own wine, had his own garden. Him and Auntie Amelia used to work in the garden together and get drunk together, the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were something else.
And did Rubino like to cook?
Huh?
Did he like to cook?
No, he had to have his spaghetti. Morning, noon, and night.
Mm-hmm. I remember Auntie Mary saying something about on more than one occasion the spaghetti hit the ceiling. What did she mean by that?
He'd get mad at my mother and he'd be sitting there mumbling to himself and he'd get mad and he'd pick up and threw up the dish of spaghetti at the sink.
Okay. So you guys all lived at the house on 50th and Hawthorne then with Rubino?
Mm-hmm.
So who was the first one to leave home of you and your sisters? And
Me.
did Uncle John live there with you?
No, he still lived in Montana.
He was in Montana.
Mm-hmm. So was Joe, both of them.
So you were the first to leave home?
Mm-hmm.
You got married?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you meet Dad?
I met him through Auntie Mary and his girlfriend that lived up the street at the USO dance in Vancouver, Washington.
Mm-hmm. And what year was that?
And the war broke out in 1941.
And what year did you get married?
42.
Where'd you get married at?
At
St. Stephen's?
in Portland, 1942,
What was the date? March?
26.
And then did you live in Portland?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Well, your dad,
Did he go away to?
yeah, we were married on a Thursday and he shipped out Sunday, the following Sunday, and he didn't come back for 4 years.
So did you live with Grandma while he was gone, or did you have your
Back and forth between Stockton. I'd go down to his folks and they'd come up there, but mostly in Portland.
Mostly in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So what are Dad's mom and Dad's name?
Her name was Della.
Della?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember her last name before she married
Salvador.
Salvador?
Mm-hmm.
Salvador or Tor? Salvatore or Salvador? Salvador.
Salvador.
And what was Grandpa's name?
I think it was Joe.
Did you ever meet him?
Mm-mm.
Never met him?
Mm-mm.
Do you think it was something like Joe Adam Madrid? That's what I
Yeah.
sort of remember.
Yeah.
Okay. But you never even met him? He was gone before
Mm-hmm.
you met Dad?
Yeah, well, he was gone before your dad even started school.
Oh, he was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Dad was gone for 4 years, and you would go down to Stockton and stay with Grandma Della,
Mm-hmm.
then come home and stay with your mom. So then he came home in 1946?
Mm-hmm.
46?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you guys live?
We lived on 48th and Hawthorne.
And then what year did you have your first baby? When was
47,
Linda?
Linda.
Linda was born January 47,
Mm-hmm.
and you lived in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So,
When Linda was 2, we moved to Montana.
Cut Bank?
Hmm?
Cut Bank? No,
No,
what? Shelby.
Shelby.
So Linda was 2, so 1949 you moved to Shelby. And what'd you guys do there?
Actually, we went to Sweetgrass.
And what'd you do there?
He was a bartender, and I was just staying home.
Mm-hmm. And then was David born there?
Yeah.
When
And
in,
David was born in Conrad, Montana.
do you remember what year?
Yeah, 1950.
So November
28.
1950?
Mm-hmm.
And then was Jim born in Montana?
No, Jim was born here.
So what year did you move to Seattle?
Because I was pregnant with